During the last few days, several trading tournaments have been held in the area of Singapore, which for those who do not know is one of the countries in the world with better conditions for traders, especially for those who are engaged in strategic or business consulting. Several of the most important traders in the world have gathered for this tournament and have come to light several analyses, strategies, combinations of indicators that they used, which have been very interesting and we can adapt to our daily operations. In this video, we will see step by step one of them that will help to improve our win rate exceeding 90%. Welcome to the Trader's Game. And before we start, remember that in the description you have the links to join us in our Telegram community, where every day we post charts and analysis of what is happening in the financial markets. And also the trading bonus page, which has been updated and have added new promotions and free bonuses for all those who are starting in the world of trading. Do not forget to leave your email if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with everything that has happened during those days. In this case, it is a strategy that we can use both in cryptocurrencies, such as Forex, or traditional markets. Especially, it is very profitable in the temporality of 15 minutes, but we can even adapt it to a minute for scalping at specific times. The first of the indicators that we will use, not the most famous or the most spectacular but necessary in this strategy, is called Power Trend Volume Range Filter Strategy, which when you click you will see that it is not only an own indicator, but also includes the automated strategy to which we could add a bot that would make all these operations automatically. And you are already seeing that the profit factor would be very positive, but well, we are only going to use the part of the indicator. So first of all, we go to its configuration, and in the data entry part we can leave it as it is by default, or depending on the volatility of the asset that you are operating, you can also try to activate the filter with ADX to your liking. We have several options that you can go combining according to the type of strategy and temporality that you operate, but in this case I am going to remove it, and in the style part we can change some things. If you use the white background, I recommend obviously that the average of the intermediate volume you put it in black so that it comes out well visible. And then here in the yellow part, one prefer to have the green and red candles, especially when the indicator paints the trend changes. And in the part of the shaded channel, I will also put it in red and green so that it is visible. It is very important that here you remove the option to show negotiations on the chart, which is the part that uses the strategy, and click on Accept. As you can see, we have it already quite clean, and even only with this indicator we could operate directly with the buy and sell signals that it provides us. But as you can see, there are some that fail, so we are going to add another indicator, this time the most important for this strategy. It is the Bollinger Bands percentile. Click on it and it will appear something like this. We go directly to configuration. In length we will change the 20 by 9, and the multiplier we will put it in 4. We give it to accept and it would be like this. The operation of the strategy is very simple. Simply when we see a buy or sell signal in the upper indicator, in this particular case we mark a sell, we mark that candle and take a look at our lower indicator. Being looking for a short operation, if we see that the wave is in red, we can place our operation. As always, the stop loss above the previous highs or lows, depending on whether we are short or long. And in this case we will seek an operational ratio of 1:1, i.e. the same percentage of stop loss to take profit. As I always tell you personally, I usually adapt these take profits to the volatility of the asset I am operating. In this case, being in cryptocurrencies, I seek to adapt to the maximum possible volatility with more defensive ratios as 1:1. However, in other types of assets such as traditional stocks or Forex, you can perfectly extend that ratio to 1.5:1. In this particular case it would also be positive, but these are tips that I want to give you so you can get the highest win rate in the long term. Another alternative is to have several take profit points, i.e. when it reaches the ratio 1:1 we close half of the operation and let the rest run until it marks that 1.5:1. We could also let another part of the operation run until 2:1. Since this strategy tries to maximize profits in trend movements, then it is always very much worthwhile to let run a little bit that operation. If we look a little further on, we have a very similar case, but on the contrary, as it marks us by signal and we have the lower wave in green, the two rules are complete. We place our operation, stop loss below the previous lows, and the first take profit in the ratio 1:1. As you can see, we would also take the second take profit and even the third. Just a few minutes after having closed the long and positive, we get the possibility of entering another short. Again, we place our operation, stop loss at the previous highs, and place that ratio 1-to-1. Perfectly take our profits, and the price after that starts to lateralize, so we do not jump back to any entry. So you see that this combination of indicators detects the most of these trend movements and does not put us too many fake outs in between. Even so, there will always be some areas where it is more complicated to adjust those entries, and this is when we have to play a little more with our basic knowledge, i.e. we see that we mark that buy signal, but we see the type of candle in which we close the price. We can also detect with the previous candle that there is much resistance in that area, which is more complicated for the price to continue rising. Also, if we look closely at how the wave is when we mark that buy signal, we can see that this force is going down, which also indicates that the price will begin to reverse. In this case, if we entered, obviously we would fail that operation, but what we could do is, having all this information, thinking a little further with the basics, is directly when we see this, close it with that little bit in positive. But as I know that many of you would be quite complicated if you are starting in this world to see that kind of information directly, you can add this RSI, which gives us the backlight with overbought and oversold, i.e. that directly marks those areas where the price is already overbought and oversold. So of course, at the time that we jump that buy signal, we can see that the price is already in overbought zone, so we cannot enter here long. The same thing would happen in this area, where we can see that we also have the same situation. We can detect an order block or resistance area very clear. However, we mark a buy signal, we see that the green wave is falling and also marks the RSI in overbought. With this data, we know easily that it is not a good area for long entry. No doubt we are facing one of the best strategies for day trading without complicating too much, or if we cannot be all day glued to the screen, you could even put some kind of alarm directly in Tradingview that you jump when those buy or sell appear. I recommend you to try it and let me know below in comments what you thought, if you could combine it with your trading, and obviously if you liked it. If so, please leave us a nice like. That is free and helps us a lot to continue working. And do not forget that, as always, you have in the description the link to our free Telegram community and the official website of Trading Bonus, where all those who want to start in this world or looking for a new platform to operate, you will find the best, and also give you free bonuses so you do not start from scratch. Take a look because it's worth it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video of the Trader's Game.